Okay, hello and welcome. Today we are going to touch upon a subject of sadness and loneliness and just the fact of fake smiling. Now, I've got a few things, I've got one thing here, which is a picture of me at the end of high school. This was the last day of high school, where I took a picture depicting me smiling. Now, I've got this big area here, but I've actually printed it off, so that's good. So, this is the picture. I'll show that from the camera. So that was me. Don't ask the age, I can't remember. But that was me in the fourth year of high school. That's when I decided to finish. So you see that there's a smile in that person. But during my high school journey, it had its ups and it had its downs. And how we deal with that, each of us deal with it differently. Some people deal with it head on, others run from it. Others have coping mechanisms, and one of my coping mechanisms is to reduce silence. So when I had a phone, I would use that like I do now. In this day and age, in 2023, we have phones, we have technology, we have everything. Back in those days, I had a small, tiny phone, which was like fine for me, but there was no music download. You couldn't have music on those things. So I would carry a small little CD player, kind of like a flat circular thing, plug some headphones in, put a CD in there, and just listen that way. It was weird. It was because everybody else had phones, but I didn't at the time. So yeah. So everybody had the new and greatest and latest. And when a new phone came out, they would literally smash their phone up and then go and buy the new phone. But that didn't bring me happiness anyway. But I used music as a tool to release stress, just to fill that void of loneliness which I felt throughout high school. Now, it's not saying that all points of my life in high school was terrible. There's always points in life where you have good moments and bad moments. And the good moments are great, but most of them, due to our own mishaps as human beings, they fall away, and then you have to find new ways of being happy. So, yeah, although there's a smiley picture of me, there's a lot of struggle behind that smile. It was forced. This was just a random picture I took. If you keep wondering why I'm looking over, because the picture is literally just off screen here. So, but yeah, the idea of sadness and just the whole definition of sadness. It's just people don't deserve to be sad in this world. People don't deserve to be lonely within this world. Yes, we all do things differently. We all live different lives. We all, we'll have our own values and our own morals, our own beliefs, whether that is through faith or whether that is our personal beliefs and preferences. But the idea of working towards peace and love and unity is the way the world should go. Obviously, there's a lot of war, there's a lot of violence, which is not right, and even in the smallest of areas, there's still something that gets stirred up. But it's like more of the sadness and loneliness hits your heart eventually really deeply, and it's at that point when you break down and you lose all hope in the world. And it's like I've hit that point many times, mainly at this period of time in my life. I'm 20, almost turning 21. So this whole journey that, once I became an adult, even through my struggles, I don't feel like I was prepared. I don't think anyone is prepared to face these terrible things of loneliness throughout your whole high school journey. Despite the good things, the bad things do sometimes push those good things away. And, looking back at it now, it's like, yeah, the struggles were there, but we always cling to whatever was good and blow that out of proportion. Because in our heads, that's how we roll. We don't want to look in the bad, but we do. And sometimes that can be great, but we can't live in the past. Because the more we live in the past, the more we forget how to live in the present time. And we all do things in the present that, at the end of the day we think, okay, why did I do that? Or why did I act like that in a certain way? So it's a constant reflection of who are we as human beings, and that's another thing I'm going to delve into. Is like, who are we as human beings? Are we kind? Are we loving? Are we pure-hearted? Are we full of love? Or we should all feel that way, but many turn to that of, I've chosen this path, rather than turning to the correct path of which we should follow. So, like, I have a few things here in my room which help me get through my life. Especially in my low moments, I have come up with a plan, which is use with your hand. So I've drawn this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but pretty much what it says. I'm not going to name each finger. So it says mental, physical, emotional, social, and motivational. Now these 5 things are used for me to reflect at any point of the day, to think, okay, I mentally feel this. Is it causing me physical struggles? Can I, walk it off? What emotional feelings am I feeling? Can I do something mentally to change my emotional feeling? Or if it's the emotional problem that's causing me the mental issue, that's causing me to be physically weak, which is then, is that doing good for me socially? Am I able to walk down the street with my head held high? Or am I walking down the street with my head to the floor? Those kind of things. And then motivational is like, am I able to motivate myself to do these things? To get up, to stand up and say, no, this mental state that I'm in is not for me. But this physical state is not where I want to be. And emotionally, I need to change all these things in order to grow to the next step, which is then to be socially open, to be, emotionally in a good state of mind, which means you physically have more energy, and mentally you feel better, which means you've then motivated yourself. So things like that. And I have a great image of strength, of pure strength, and it's in the form of a lion. So I have this painting, or this, I don't know what it is, this big lion. It's kind of good here. So this gives me strength, and it's that depiction of strength, and you know the lion being the strongest animal of the animal kingdom. So yeah, we all need a new mentality in being strong, because so many in this world, including myself, I'm terrible for this. I'm weak. We're all that of weak, and it's like those who are strong is great, but those who are weak, we do need help, and we need to admit, sometimes that we're not failures in life by asking for help. We're actually stronger asking for help because it's what we need to do, and that's the most important thing in life. Is when we ask for help, then we have to seek it as well, and we need to work towards it. So if a problem arises, whether that's a problem from the past, which is usually is a problem from the past which is affecting your day-to-day life now, which we will all face. We will all have had struggles from the past that are hitting us hard now, which is, it's never nice, but this stuff happens in life, and yeah, it's not easy, but it's how we fight to get through this. And yeah, on my phone home screen I have a picture of a shield to remind me, it's like, I'm strong. I have the power to defend myself though, if things were to hit me hard. And it says, like, never give up, you got this. So just that constant reminder, it's like, I can't give in to whatever feeling of negative emotion I'm feeling at this present moment in time. So just that constant fight within your head you need to calm that down in whichever way you can. So if music helps, use it. If you've got a video game that you play that helps, use it. As long as it doesn't lead to like anger and stuff. Like certain games I play, like Assassin's Creed and GTA, are one of two games where they're the two main games I play, and they can lead to me having a wrong mindset. And it's like I'm getting my aggression out, but not in the right way, I don't think. But that's personal to each and every human being, how they choose to get their feelings off. As long as you don't harm another human being by what you play in your games. So this whole mental thing, it's like the health of, we all have mental health, and we're all going to have mental health struggles. So, but it's how we fight through that is really important. Because we're all going to have dark days. It's like, it's been explained to me many times by motivational speakers, which is a way I cope with my struggles as well. Listening to, the pain that other people went through, but saying like, don't give up. This is not the end. It's just like, these things will pass. And these quotes, for instance, like, it's okay not to be okay, but it's just not okay to stay that way. So this reminder is like, we have periods of our life where we do struggle, and that's okay to struggle, but it's not, if that sadness is there and you don't feel okay with yourself, it's how you then become okay. Like if you fall down, this was another quote I heard, if you fall down, fall on your back, so at least then you can look up and you can get up. These kind of motivational quotes help me, and just that keeps me going. Yeah, they don't always work. None of these routines that I do, this whole hand thing, doesn't always work. No help that I've been given from out with has always helped, but when it does help, it helps. So don't ever feel like you're a failure. Don't ever feel like, you failed in life just because you seek help. We all need help in life. It's whether we search for it or not. So that's a really important thing to do, and not to really hide your emotions, but be open about your emotions. Like I would smile like this throughout high school, and then progressing on towards college. And I think, it was all, sometimes was real, sometimes was forced, in order to keep the mood up, in order to project a happy person, of which was scarred within. And that's not an easy thing to deal with. So, but by projecting that of your true emotion, okay, whether that is down or whether that is lonely or low, express it and be open about it, because it's not, you're not lying to yourself, and sometimes it can be more freeing to just be you and feel the way you do. And in that way, we also learn, as people struggling, which I do personally myself, I learn from the help I get in order for, okay, you need to focus on yourself first before others, but in my getting help, I also am learning how to help others, because we should all help each other, and it's this growing, it's this not stopping, it's just because once you're in a good state, you might not always stay in a good state. Just because I have a shield of protection, even my shield can get knocked off, that mentality is like, yeah, you have armor, you do put up barricades as walls of protection, but sometimes you've just got to put them down to experience whatever needs to come in as well as leave. And by that I mean letting the good moments in, but letting whatever you're feeling out as well. Bad moments will still hit you, but you have to get through it, and it's fighting this dark cloud, getting through this tunnel, even if you feel like you're in the deepest, darkest part of the tunnel, where you can only see like a tiny bit of light left. Just keep going towards that, because the saying is that you'll always get out of it. Yes, but you're never assured how long you will be struggling through that situation. And yeah, I can only speak of my own struggles because I don't know how any of you guys are feeling. So this whole mentality of keep going, don't give up, fight, be open, be honest. Don't think you're a failure in life because you need help, because it only makes it worse if you don't talk about it, if you don't speak, and getting the help you need, getting a counselor, or a support worker or someone to help you, and just offload. Because sometimes just speaking to the person, the first time it will feel scary. Yes, it is obviously scary because you're talking to a stranger and you've got to put your trust in them. Make sure you feel comfortable speaking to the person. If not, find someone else. There's always another option elsewhere to seek other people. Like seeking a professional, for instance. Although in this day and age, it's really difficult. So you've got to go to helplines and stuff. But even that, don't be afraid. Just push yourself to do it and just say, like, I need to get the help for myself because otherwise I'm not going to get through life in general. And this step forward is like, instead of moving, two steps forward, one step back, just saying it like this way, this is the way I do it now. Take one step forward and no steps back. Because in that way, you're going to progress in the same way. Because if you're going to take two steps forward and one step back, then you put yourself too high and then you fall yourself back again. So take one step forward and then fix that part of whatever's hurt, broken, a scar that's left within your heart. Focus on who you are as a person. Change the person if you're not happy with the person you are. Change your mindset, change your mentality. Just be open, be prepared. People will like you, people will hate you. That's a sad way of thinking, but it's the truth. But don't be afraid to be who you are, and don't fall for other people's way of life if that's not your way. If you choose to live a certain way, you choose to live like that. And it's not everybody, people will walk out your life because of that, or will not accept that. But it's being that person who has the courage to be open, to be honest, and just to feel loved, even if you have family situations. For me, taking inspiration from films, for instance, especially Fast and Furious. I just recently watched the new Fast and Furious movie, which is Fast X, and it's all focused on family. It's just an amazing show, and yet, okay, it's a film, but family is so important, but family doesn't also have to be blood. Everybody's like, yeah, we have a blood family, but even as that, we can create our own families. If you go to college and you make friends and you find a bond between them, and then you start calling them, brother or sister or bro, or sis, or whatever you call them, whether you find a girlfriend or a boyfriend, just being you and just making your own family and your own happiness within that. So I think it's vitally important that we look after ourselves first and foremost, so that in order that we can then go out and spot the signs, let people know of the helping places, but then also, knowing and reassuring them that you've been through struggles as well, and that you can try your best to help them. You won't understand fully how they're feeling because it's all personal, but everybody goes through different struggles in life. But it's being there for one another. If you know someone's struggling, help them. if you know someone's hurt, be there for them. If you see someone crying, comfort them. You know, if you see someone on their own, approach them. You know, all these things are so important in life that we just brush over, especially in our busy world that we live in today. It's like work, you know, do your job, get your exams passed, or assessments done. But there's no really time for socializing and being open and being honest. And in this world, it's vitally important that we are honest to each other and to ourselves. So I think that, wrapping everything up kind of thing, in a way, it's like, do what works best for you. Don't hurt yourself. Don't beat yourself up about anything that's going to happen in life. Struggles will hit you. It will hurt, but it's finding the coping mechanisms to get through it. You are strong. You have the power to take control of your mind. If there's one thing I've learned, it's like we are in control, not our mind, and it's like we control our being. If we choose to fight, we can choose to fight. But even if you fall, don't be ashamed of that. Don't be afraid of asking for help to get back up. Because there are people, those good people, those kind people who might have been hurt as well in the past, who are willing and have dedicated their life now in order to help others. So I think, yeah, that's great, but we need more of those people. We shouldn't have to go to helplines. We should have trust in one another, that we can help each other and support each other. So, yes, on the quote of what I said, which is on my phone, never give up. You got this. So, never forget that, because you are strong. And any battle in your life, you can get through it. I promise. So, don't give up. Keep fighting. And, yeah, peace.